Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We interrupt our regular opening to ask you a favor. Laura Gillot and the Gillot Home Team have supported The Experience since the beginning. Now we're asking you to support them. Let's grow their Facebook page to over 10,000 followers. We're very close, but we need your help. Open Facebook and search Gillot Home Team and follow them. Then click the 3 dots on their profile and invite your friends to follow them as well. Together, we can grow the Gillot Home Team to over 10,000 followers. Now we return you to our regular opening. Learn more about the Experience community at our website, local.theexperience.video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. The Aspects of Aging weekly talk show with Christine A. Smith. Unscripted conversations with experts. Watch live or in replay at agingbetternetwork.com. Nancy Bakke and Best Entrepreneur Solutions, revealing the key ingredients to skyrocket business profits. Learn more online at bestentrepreneurssolutions.com. Ironhead Roofing, veteran family-owned and the most trusted roofing company in Oregon. Call 541-283-1298 and online at ironheadroofing.com. Extreme Graphics, not just your local print shop, vehicle wraps, signs, and apparel. Call 503-926-9727 and on the web, extremegraphics.com. And now let's get on with the show.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Let's get on with the show. Welcome to the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, everybody. Go ahead, Scott.
Local.theexperience.video. I'm just going to jump right to it. You want to find what's going on in the world. You want to learn about how to get a copy of Life Happens, and then you choose Russ's book. Go to local.theexperience.video, and you can link right to Russ's book on Amazon there. You can learn all about the shows that we've got, which is The Experience Local on Mondays, The Experience Live with Russ and Scott on Wednesdays, Marketing with Russ on Mondays and Thursdays, and Russ Reels Live, which is on Thursday afternoons. I tell you, there's just so much going on. And you can even learn about my radio show, which is also a podcast, The Waco Experience, an American Story, broadcast right here in Waco on KBBW, but a podcast everywhere.
Man, I tell you, there's so much information there. Please go to local.theexperience.video today. And if you want to jump directly to our YouTube page and subscribe, just with that, you can go to theexperience.video. And we are so blessed to be here today. Got a great friend. Matt Miller's on with us today. He'll be here in just a moment. But we just want to remind you that we're here every Wednesday at 7 a.m. For your listening and viewing pleasure. That's right. 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every Wednesday. Well, by the way, that's 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time. Got to get that down there. There you go. And so love to have you join us every week. But if you miss it, it sits on LinkedIn and YouTube forever and Facebook for 30 days. So we broadcast on all 3 of those, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So you go back and watch it forever. Also, if you don't have time to watch, guess what? It converts to audio podcast. You can listen on Spotify every week as well. This converts within a few days after we're done. And then it shows up on Spotify so you can listen while you're getting ready for work, whatever you're doing. So appreciate all of you. And we really would love for you to engage today, because you know what? It's not a good show without you. So if you could start by sharing this out, tagging your friends, letting them know we're on. Come on, everybody. We're on. You want to make sure that they know what's happening. And then again, thank you so much for everybody for subscribing to YouTube. That makes a big difference to us, helps build our community, and makes it a great place to be. Right, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. It is the connections that happen in the comments that always warm my heart. I love when people are saying, "Oh, Michael, good to see you," and all. So It's always great to add those comments, and those get recorded into the stream. So if you're on LinkedIn and you're making comments there, it's going to continue so people can go back and say, oh, I'm glad Michael Holt was watching this. I wanted to talk to him about whatever it is.
Yes, no, it's so great when you're engaging. By the way, please engage, pick up your copy of Life Happens, and then you choose, available on Amazon. That'll be in the comments how to get a hold of that. This last weekend, I had my book signing at Willamette Valley Christian Supply here in Albany, and now I'm out there in Amazon. So been a #1 bestseller, by the way, on Amazon. So thankful for that. So anyway, Scott, any other words before oh yeah, that's it. Life happens, and then we choose. We love that. Yes, we do.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this coming January, because at Podfest in Orlando, that's January 15 to 18, I'll be speaking there. Mike Asherbrenner will be speaking there, and our friend and brother and #1 best-selling author Russ will be there as well.
So, Scott, I'm going to jump right in here because I would love to do that. We didn't hear most of what you said there, but yes, we're going to Podfest in Orlando, Florida. Looking forward to that in January. It's going to be a blessing. I think it's time to get our guest in the room. And Matt is such an amazing guy. He's been on our show, The Experience Local, and great to have him here. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Hey, Russ. Hey, Scott. Great to be here this morning with you all.
Yeah, I'm telling you, what a blessing it is. Every Wednesday morning, we love to get together with amazing people like you. Scott says we have the most remarkable guests, and he's absolutely right. And so, Matt, let's just start with the basics, man. For people that don't know you, who in the world is Matt Miller, and what are you up to?
Yeah, so my name is Matt Miller. I'm the owner of Miller's Barbecue here in Salem, Oregon. Just serving my community here. Whether it's being a part of multiple nonprofits, giving back to nonprofits, walking alongside people who, have a tough spot in their life right now and need a little bit of help or encouragement. Following Russ's journey, he's been super inspiring and very open about what God's done in his life. And I absolutely am inspired by that, and I love that. So we became good friends really through his journey. And actually, this morning, I got to share with Russ a little bit of a God moment we had here, even in my own restaurant. My general manager a few weeks ago went in for her mammogram, and they found a cluster. And they said, okay, we need to do another scan, do some blood work. They came back and they told her, we're 90% sure you have cancer. So it's time to do a biopsy, figure out what type you have, what the treatment plan is going to be. She's a single mom with a little 9-year-old, and she was worried. And I looked at her and I said, Beth, let's just give it to God. Let's just sit here. Let's pray about it. Let's give it to God. And no matter what, you're part of this family. So we're going to walk the journey together. And a couple of weeks later, she had her biopsy. 2 days later, she sent me a text and she said, you'll never believe it. Cancer free. It's just a cluster. And so it's just been amazing to watch God work both with my employees and through my employees.
What a blessing.
Fabulous.
What a blessing.
That's fabulous. I know I first met you at an alignable meetup that you were hosting there. This has been a couple of years ago, but opened up your space. We were able to come in, and I'll just tell people that you have great coffee. And that's not just great barbecue, but you have great coffee and friendly staff. So it's a fun place to go, handy place. But how did you get involved in creating a restaurant?
Yeah, it was a crazy turn of events, actually. I had just opened a food truck 4 months prior, and it was because my community said, we love your catered food, but we really want to be able to come and buy your food whenever it's convenient for us, not waiting for you to cater something. And so I found the Salem Kiwanis Club had this little wooden trailer that had been sitting for a couple of years. Asked them if I could buy it, and I said, hey, I don't have a lot of money. I'll give you $1,200 for it. They said, well, let me talk to the board. We'll see what they say. And they said, yeah, let's take it. It's been sitting for 2 years. We're never going to use it again. Let's just let them have it. And so did some quick turnaround work on it and opened up a food cart. 4 months later, I was approached by the guy who does the maintenance right here in this building that we're in, which we're in the Capital City Business Center in Northeast Salem. And he said, Sassy Onion, who's been here for 10 years, has decided they're moving out. They're leaving the space, and we have to have a food provider. And I love your food. I love your food truck and what you've done with the roller derby. You should come and check out this space and be here. And so I said, I don't know if I'm ready to open a full restaurant yet. And so I came, I looked at the space, and my wife at the time, she saw it and she said, this is it. You can have your restaurant going. You can have all your catering. Everything can be in one spot. Doesn't have to be stored in our garage and then unpacked up and moved to another location, cook, and then pack it all back up in the garage again. So we prayed about it, and God opened the door for us to go ahead and walk in to this space. And so here we are, just a little over 2 years later now, running the restaurant here at the Capital City Business Center.
Yeah, that is so amazing. I mean, where God makes a way where there seems no way, right, Matt? And I just,
right.
That is such a blessing, such a blessing. I love the fact that you're so community minded too, because you're always looking for people to support things, to really throw your hat in the ring and be part of that. And so many things that I've done with kicking cancer, with other things, you have been just an integral part of those experiences. You have amazing food. I know this because I've been at several of these events where you have catered, and it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. I love meat. I keep going back for the meat. It's good. But, I know that any business, it's tough to get a consistent flow of everything that's going on there. What do you do in your community? What do you think is really your X factor as far as keeping those customers coming through your door and all the things that are happening that you need for your business?
Yeah, for me, it's that X factor is the hardest piece, because we are inside of a state building. It's not on the trafficked pathway. And so people don't know we're here. A lot of people come for the first time and they're like, I would have had no idea that you're in this building or you're in this space, because you don't drive by it every day. You have to go out of your way to find us. What I like about that, though, is it has allowed me the space. Like you said, we have a lot of it, to be able to have community come in and have quiet meetings, to bring a board and have a board meeting. And we have the ability to do that. Yes, we can seat over 100 people, but the whole atmosphere would change if we were packed all the time. And so I'm kind of okay with that. My X factor really is still the catering. I get a lot of word of mouth where I'm able to prepare it here. I have a central location, and I can go and bring it to an event. I can go and bring it to somebody's job site, even to their home. I did a private dinner for two not that long ago for a 1-year wedding anniversary. They just wanted a neat experience where she didn't have to cook, he didn't have to cook, they didn't have to find a busy restaurant, and it was a at-home experience. And so I said, yeah, I would love to be a part of that. And so it was, again, just another way that I could serve. And so dinner for two, just a couple weeks ago, we fed Amazon, and we did food for 1,152 people. So we can run the gambit between really, really small and intimate and personal to a big corporate style and be able to do all of it.
That's a really good skill set, because I have talked to caterers who they're like, yep, we cap out at whatever that number is, which is usually 20, 30 or something like that. If it's a small, like a out of your garage kind of a business, or we only do 1,000 or more. So that gives you a lot of flexibility. I like this idea of a private catered dinner. I don't think that I've talked to folks that have done that before. But what a great gift to give. So if someone wanted to do that, how long what kind of lead time do you need? If someone says, I'd like to do this for my wife's birthday or anniversary or
Yeah.
something like that. What kind of lead time would you need?
I really just asked mostly for at least a week's notice. I mean, I like to have more, but I can go all the way to a week's notice. This week, actually, I had 2 catered jobs I did where they were small, 10 people, 20 people, and I had 2 or 3 days notice, but I'm able to squeeze it in and pull it off most of the time. But otherwise, about a week, it gives me the ability to order the food, plan the menu, plan the staffing for the restaurant to make sure just we're all covered.
Yeah, that is just so amazing. And like I said, you do an amazing job, no matter if it's small or big. And I am just curious. So I don't know if you have a passion project with all the things that you're involved in the community. Number one, I'd like to know how you got involved with Kicking Cancer and Barron initially, because obviously that's near and dear to my heart because they've supported
Yeah.
me through my cancer journey. Number two, I would like to know that question of what is your real passion project with all the stuff that you do support? What do you really like to really hone in on?
Yeah, so with Barron and Kicking Cancer, initially I met him at Salem Chamber of Commerce greeters meeting, and we got to talking, and he said, hey, I've got this golf tournament coming up, could really use a whole sponsor. I know you're a brand new business, you may not have the money to do it, so I'm willing to do a trade. And he said, how about if you bring some of your food for people to sample, and then I'll give you the whole so they can try your food. You get to promote us. We kind of build this relationship. And I said, you know what? That sounds pretty fun. Let's do it. And it ended up being the talked about whole at that golf tournament. I brought my pork belly burn ends, and I just handed out food and told people about who I was as a caterer, getting started. And I actually ended up booking a couple catering jobs just from being there. And then afterwards, Barron and I started connecting more and talking, and eventually a position on the board opened up to be the activities director. And he said, hey, Matt, you've been supporting us. You're at most of our events. We have you catering some of our stuff. Do you want to just join the board and be in that role officially? And so we talked about it for about a week, and I said, yeah, let's do it. And it's been fun. A little bit of a challenge, kind of learning and growing alongside Barron to better the organization, try to bring some more fun activities into the organization for fundraising and being able to support individuals like you, Russ, and some of the others throughout the year and a half that I've been involved. But it's been a really neat experience. We actually had one Go team we just had this last year for Team Elena. And what was really neat about that is I heard about her story, heard we were going to be doing the golf fundraiser for her and her family, and then eventually found out that I grew up as a kid with her parents and had no idea that their daughter was their daughter until the golf tournament. They showed up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what are you guys doing here? And so it was really neat just how Kicking Cancer is so interconnected in the community, and in a community where I grew up as a little kid right here in Salem.
That is so amazing. I want to talk about something I've learned about you, but you just sparked something in me because you never know who you're going to meet and where connections are going to be. I have a friend who one day saw me with my in-laws in a picture, and my in-laws, Ben and Joe, she goes, how do you know Ben and Josephine? I said, well, they're my mother and father-in-law. Well, they're my aunt and uncle, and realized that my wife and him, they were first cousins. And so I'm like, oh my goodness. So anyway, it's a small world anyway, but yes, what I've learned about you though, is you have a great voice and you sing at some of these things too, don't you?
I do. Last night, no, it wasn't last night. It was a few nights ago. I was at a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club, and they had music playing in the background, and I'm sitting at my table with a group of people, and I start singing. And one person looks at me, and they're like, I didn't know you could sing. I was like, yeah, I love doing it. It's so fun. And so I've been able to sing at the Kicking Cancer honoring dinners the last couple of years, which have been really enjoyable.
Yeah.
One of the things that we really like here is at the experience is the chamber and networking events and connecting with people. It's a great way to find nonprofit organizations that need the talents that you have, whether it's catering, administration, or singing even. So talk about other community events that you're involved in that might be helpful for folks to learn about.
Yeah, so there's so many. It's kind of hard to remember all of them, but I do go to YMCA events for some of their fundraisers. Boys and Girls Club, Liberty House is near and dear to my heart here in Salem, partly because I graduated the foster system. And so what the work that they do with foster kids is above anything that's offered here in the state. And so I love that. CASA as well. Right here in Salem, I support the Marion County CASA organization and what they do to walk alongside the kids as an advocate for them. And so that kind of brings me to answering your question a little bit ago, Russ. Kind of a passion project for me. Coming up in December is our third annual foster family holiday party, which actually I should say that and say it's our third annual resource family holiday party. Growing up as a kid, we were always foster families, but now they've tried to make it a little less harsh sounding by calling it a resource family. Somebody to just come alongside the kids as a resource to walk the journey of being in the foster system with them. And so we're running that for our third year. We served 120 kids last year, just right out of Miller's Barbecue. And being that we're inside the state DHS office, I was like, hey, I can throw a Christmas party for the foster community and serve them and give back and say, hey, I see you. I grew up exactly where you're at. I was in your shoes. And now I want you to feel loved by us, by my business, by my organization, and let you know that I see you. I hear your story. I know your story. I've walked your walk. And so we're running a toy drive right now throughout the community, several drop-off locations. But people have already been bringing things. And so one of our groups of kids that's always hardest to get toys for or gifts for are teenagers. And so we had some of the emerging leaders from the Chamber of Commerce bring stuff like makeup for some of the girls, or we had some wireless headphones that were dropped off, some eyelashes and spot patches and puzzle boxes. We have some board games. And so it's been really neat to watch people just rally around and say, yeah, we want to make these kids feel seen, loved, cherished, and heard during the holiday season. So I'm really, really, really stoked about that project.
That is so amazing. I think it's truly a blessing when you reach out and you do things for your community and in your community. It makes such a difference with the way they view you and your business. And I think it's really God within you and the principles you stand for that really make you the person that you are. And so real quickly, I just want to talk about the thing that I keep always trying to get to, and that is your amazing Bible study that you have in your facility. The reason I want to bring that up is because you have space that you have for people to either lease, rent, or use or something there as well, right?
So it's free space. I actually don't charge a dime for people to use it. I really encourage people to just come in. And yeah, we do. We host a Bible study every Thursday morning. I open the cafe 30 minutes early. They come at 6:30 instead of 7. That way people can be to work by 8. And so we just say, hey, come. We have a group of guys that meet every Thursday at 6:30 in the morning. Walk through either a devotional book or a book in the Bible. We kind of go back and forth from month to month or book to book. But it's just gathering a group of believers together to say, hey, we're walking this journey called life, and sometimes it's hard. And the Bible calls us, to gather together as brothers and sisters to support each other, to sharpen each other, and to just be there through this journey as we make disciples. And so one of the things that I really love about, what God's done in my life is the gospel message is so simple. It's the death, the burial, the resurrection, believing that Christ really came for us. But he said in the Gospels, he said, love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. These two encompass all the law. And we try to make it so complicated in religion sometimes on what are we supposed to do? What are we called to do? We're just called to love people the way Christ loved us. Well, what did he do? He laid his life down for us. And so when I started this business, one of the things I told my local church, I said, I want to be just like our church, I want to be a business for the city. I want to, yes, money has to be made. I have to keep the doors open, but I don't want that to be my focus. I want to lay down my business to the community and say, we're here to love you. Yeah, we're not a Christ-centered organization. I don't only hire believers. I'm not a church-affiliated business, but I love God with all my heart. And so I'm going to use my business that way to just love people. And then he says later on in the Bible, people will know you are my disciple by the way you love. So with that question, Scott, that you asked me earlier, what's that X factor that sets us apart? I really think it's the way we love people, the way we show up. That's different from most business owners in our community because of what God's done in my life and the way he's used me.
That's such a blessing. So amazing. And unfortunately, I have to be the responsible host and start wrapping things up. But I wanted to say to you, Matt, you can see that I want to be Matt when I grow up. I'm a little bit wider than you are, but I'm getting there. I'll almost have the beard you have. But
it's looking
anyway,
good.
Yeah, thank you. I just appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here today. Give everybody kind of your gold nugget of today's conversation in the last couple minutes here of what you want them to remember, number one, from today's conversation, and then how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so biggest key of what I want you guys to remember, what you put out into the community, what you put out to the people around you is what matters more than what you do. People see how you live, not what you're doing, more than anything. So treat people with the exact kindness and respect that you want, and that'll be given back. How to find us or get a hold of us, come to 4600 25th Avenue, Northeast Salem. We're inside the Capital City Business Center. Email millers.bbq.salem@gmail.com or call us at 503-990-6169 and you reach our cafe line.
Perfect. And one more time, phone number one more time.
Phone number one more time, 503-990-6169.
Perfect. And we have all the other information in the comments and the show notes. The email's been ticking along the bottom. And I want everybody to know that the stuff in the comments and the show notes is clickable. So you can go directly to Matt without even having to remember anything. So Matt, thank you. What a blessing you are. We're going to say goodbye here on screen. Hang tight for just a moment in the green room. We'll see you in just a sec.
Thanks for coming, Matt. Good to hear.
Thanks, man.
More great inspiration. Scott. More great inspiration. Yeah. I'm just going to say for all those guys out there, you want to get some points? Call Matt today. You've got the number and schedule a surprise catered dinner at your house. I'll tell you, you'll just be, and it's for no reason, right? Just schedule it for, how about after the holidays? Maybe January, something like that.
Just because you love your loved one, whoever that might be. Well, I think that's a fabulous idea, by the way. And Scott, what a blessing it always is to be with you. I appreciate you so much and looking forward to upcoming PodFest when we get to see each other in person. And there you go. I need to get a picture of you in that book, by the way. And so, yes, what a blessing you are. Everybody come get your book. You can pick it up on Amazon. All the information is in the show notes and in the comments. So thank you for that. With that, Scott, any last comments before we say ta-ta?
I'll just say I'm looking forward to PodFest, and that's January 15 to 18 in Orlando. And reach out to me. I'll give you a discount code. Save 10% on your ticket.
There you go. It's going to be fun. All right. Until next time, which is next Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great day and enjoy
the experience.
Woohoo! There you go.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.